right, it's Friday. It's another episode of Go Wildcats with head coach Ryan Hall. Okay, Coach, so this summer and this week especially, we've talked about this overall framework, the PAC way, that helps you guys train the students and players with your values. And we've talked about who you are, what you do, all week especially. Now we come to the end of this week of emphasis, and the key words are competition and repetition. Mm-hmm. It's not as simple as practice makes perfect, right? We throw that phrase around. Tell us what those values of competition and repetition mean.
Yeah, you saying that the practice makes perfect thing is you hear a lot of people say that, but really practice makes permanent. You know, what you do over and over again is going to become habit, and then that becomes, habit becomes who you are. And so, to tie everything together with the PAC, and again, just to kind of hit on that, that's just the idea of we're better together. There's synergy that we can create by being united and unified and doing things together, and, everybody bringing their talents to what we're trying to do, and, to kind of put all that together and compartmentalize it is to talk about competition and repetition. And so what we want to do is pull out the fundamentals of everything, whatever we do, and then we want to repeat them over and over again. We just want to be brilliant at the basics. We want to really, really focus on repeating those things that are going to play winning football, that are going to make you a great husband, that are going to make you a great employee, and just repeating those things over and over and over again. Repetition is the master teacher. If that's true, we've got to do those things every day. And so that's kind of the focus of how we install the idea of getting better and doing it together, taking all those principles of the PAC, relentless effort, toughness, being disciplined, and just doing them over and over. And the main thing is never get bored with it. That's what happens is I heard Ron Washington was talking about Ozzie Albies. I don't know if you've ever seen that clip he's hitting them ground balls before a game like at 5 feet, and he does it every day. And as they walk off, Ron Washington, who's the third base coach for the Braves, he says, that's a Major League All-Star that's doing things that 5- and 6-year-olds are doing. And his point was Ozzie Albies has never gotten away from the basics. Like, I see it in basketball. A kid can shoot a layup and make it most of the time, so now he starts shooting threes all the time. He never continues to train shooting that layup, so he gets away from that basic fundamental. And we don't ever want to do that. We want to always go back to those basics. And I think that to kind of enhance that repetition as you put competition in there where we make each other better and compete. That word in the Latin origin comes from to come alongside. And a lot of times we look at compete as it's me against you, yes, and I got to be better than you. And it's really not that here. We don't want to have that attitude. We want to say, if you get after me and I get after you, we're both going to be better and we're going to grow. And obviously we want to win. I'm not taking anything away. When we play a football game, the goal is to win on the scoreboard. But we also have to look at the picture of every time we go out and play against an opponent, that's an opportunity for us to sharpen and to become better, and they're part of that process. So, we try to get our kids to understand every time you get in an environment where there's a winner and there's a loser, there's something on the line, it's not it's you. I want your best, right, so I can be my best. And so those are kind of the principles of that competition and repetition. We always want to stay focused on the fundamentals and the basics. Parlay that into life. As we go out, you and I have a relationship where you make me better. Like, you may tell me things sometimes that I may not agree with or I don't like, but at the end of the day, that relationship grows me and makes me better. That's competition where we're coming alongside of each other and growing each other as people and making us better. And then the fundamentals of relationships, what are they? Find out what they are: love, respect, taking care of people. Never get away from those in life. The same things that are going on here on this football program about repeating the basics and the fundamentals and being brilliant at the basics. Don't get bored with that. And that's what unfortunately happens in life is, as a man, you stop focusing on those things, and your relationship with your wife or your family kind of gets far, and next thing you know, you're away from it. And so that's the lesson in that, is just stay focused on those things fundamentally that'll make you successful, whether it's as a football player, student, as a man, in relationships, in a job. And then competition is that's the fuel to the fire. That's what can take you to the next level. So that's kind of our philosophy on that and how we try to impart that to our young men. And we kind of use that idea to tie all of the PAC together. We're together in this process of everybody staying focused on the fundamentals and then everybody sharpening each other by bringing competition into our locker room.
Well, awesome. Very, very good. What a great way to wrap up our discussions this week. I hope that you'll keep watching, as we will have another player spotlight and then a visit with special teams coordinator Coach Jeff Ward. All right, we're here with another player spotlight. We're with freshman Tyler Thomas. He's number 1. You'll see him on the field this fall. Plays both safety and running back. Tyler, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
No problem.
Let's talk quickly about competition and even repetition and what coaches stress with you guys. Tell us generally what it means to be that relentless competitor.
I feel like if you left it on the field and you know you left it on the field and you left it for your teammates, you did a good job.
All right, awesome. Let's talk about a specific moment. Is there a specific memory that maybe defines how you feel about this competitive nature?
The Cobra Heights game, when I had 2 picks,
Okay.
I just wanted to advance to the second round for my team.
Awesome. Playoff game, great memories there for you and for all the team. That's exciting stuff. Now quickly, let's get some insight into who Tyler Thomas is, a little quirky side of you. Is there anything unique you might do we don't know about you?
Singing in the shower. Love me some Katy Perry.
Singing in the shower, and specifically you love to sing Katy Perry. So the last time you showered, you sang Katy Perry in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. What song was that?
Fireworks.
Okay, Fireworks by Katy Perry. That is, if you're tracking at home, your second Katy Perry reference this week. Tyler, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Anything you want to tell the camera?
Try singing in the shower.
All right, we're here today to talk special teams with your special teams coordinator, Coach Jeff Ward. Coach, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Glad to be here.
All right, very good. Today's emphasis is this idea of competition and repetition. So let's talk quickly about what you witness and what it means for these guys to have this true competitive character.
Well, I know being in the weight room, one thing that we always said of being competitive, or even just competing in general, is when you're competing or being a competitor, you want to make sure that you're sharpening the person that's next to you. We always felt like competing was always, oh, I want to dominate this person, I want to dominate that person. But it's all about competing is making sure you're making that man next to you better. And so that's the biggest thing that we want to preach and talk about and teach our players is that when you out here want to compete, it's not about making your brother look bad. It's about making sure your brother is getting better. So in those times that's what we want to, what should I say, drive in or try to nail in to make sure that they understand that when it comes on the field, you also going to need that brother to be right there to compete with you as well. And so with that being said, that's one thing that we try to drive into our players is making sure that they know that when we're going out here and competing, making sure that you're competing for the man that's next to you, but also doing it for a great cause.
Very, very good. That's wonderful. Glad to hear that. As we talk special teams, I suppose in some ways special teams is the best way to kind of explore this idea because it's so often neglected in terms of the popularity or the emphasis in a game, but yet it's extremely important, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about this year's version of special teams play. What's it look like?
I know it's going to be very special, and the reason why I say that is because we got a new guy that came in. His name Matthew Bullwinkle, 10th grader, and a special kid. He's a kicker. And when I tell you he has a leg like no other. And so this is something that's very new to us. We had Sam Smith that came before. He was a great kicker. He knew things about him. And even Sam came in and, taught him little things, taught him little tricks and stuff like that for him to get better with. But him being so young and see where he's at now, it is so amazing. And that competitor in him is like he sees, he want to be a part of the team so much that I have him down. He's kicking by himself, and he's like, well, Coach, I want to do more stuff with the team. Like, I want to be a receiver. I want to be a DB. And it's like, son, you got to understand that one point in time in this game, we're going to need this 30-yard field goal, or we need this 50-yard field goal. We need you to drive this through. So sometimes you're going to feel like you're alone, but on Friday nights, it's going to be everybody that's on your back, and we're going to depend only on you to make this kick.
Right.
So it's things like that I love to see that how he want to compete, for different jobs just because of he want to be involved, he want to be there. So that's what I'm excited about as far as this coming up year with special teams is seeing how much he can develop into being that. And then the next person is Pierson Garganis. Pierson is a senior that's coming in, and he has worked his butt off far as the beginning to the end of want to come in and compete for a spot. His natural position is a safety, playing safety, and he's actually going to get playing time there as well. But the beauty of him competing on special teams as he's coming in, he's driving in, making the plays that he's supposed to make, staying in his lane, doing the small things right, hustling down, and fighting for that spot of earning his spot to be there. And for that alone, him being a senior, I made him a special teams captain. Like I told him that you're going to be the captain this year. You're going to make sure everybody's lined up. You're going to count them out, make sure everybody's in line. Like that is your job. And that's just because he came out and competed for that spot. For him to be a senior and earn that now, I think it's a great job.
Yeah, fantastic. That sounds great. We appreciate so much the insight. That's great stuff. I appreciate your work with them. Look forward to seeing them and you guys on the field. Anything else you want to say?
Only thing I want to say is I appreciate you guys for everything that y'all do, and especially the parents, boosters that come out to support. That's what it's all about. It's about these kids, and that's the main thing that I want us to keep in mind and to remember, that it's all about the kids. And as long as we keep the kids number one, I feel like this program is going to continue to grow. So with that being said, I'm done, and go Wildcats.
All right, Tyler, thank you for joining us. Anything else you want to add?
Go Wildcats.